All right, welcome to this video. Hope you're all having a beautiful day so far. So as you can see in today's video, it's going to be a little bit more hands-on. It's not really going to be like a high production video, but I basically wanted to document exactly what we did for one of our clients who was already booking in a lot of calls. She came to us a couple of weeks ago and she told us that, she was booking in a lot of calls, like everything was going good in terms of lead flow, but the show up rate and the buyer intent on call was really bad. Meaning that not a lot of the people, I think it was like 1 out of 4 didn't show up, right? So that's just a lot of energy and time wasted on waiting for them or booking them in if they don't even want to show up. And the second thing was that the buyer intent was low. So, they didn't expect the price to be 4 figures. They came with all sorts of excuses like, I need to think about it, I need to discuss with my husband, etc. So I showed on Instagram that we implemented a pre-call sequence on how effective it was for her, and you guys requested me to make a training on it. So here we are, and hopefully you would find it valuable. So if you do, make sure to show some engagement in the comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel, whatever, because I'm literally going to show exactly what we did and how you can do it for yourself. No matter if you're an agency owner, coach, consultant, doesn't really matter, because this is like a high level overview and you can kind of customize it for your specific niche and service. So with that intro out of the way, here's how to reduce no-shows per good, never justify your price, talk to unqualified leads, handle stupid objections on calls ever again. And basically turn into this guy right here by implementing an agency-driven pre-call workflow that actually primes the lead before the call. So first of all, let's clear the air, because pre-selling isn't some kind of mystical or arcane knowledge. It's simply getting your potential customers warmed up to the idea of what you're offering before they hit the sales call, but also for you to get one more step of reconfirmation that they will actually show up. And I'll get into that in a minute. So it's basically setting the stage for the final act, right? And in the funnel, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact steps and show you how to apply them effectively to your own sales process. And I'll also debunk some common myths about pre-selling, just to call out the BS out there. So if you don't have a pre-selling process in place right now, this is probably how your current sequence is set up and why it might suck a little bit. Because, this is probably your booking process right now, right? You send them a calendar link, or they find it somewhere, maybe an ad or like on your website. They book in a call, they get the confirmation with, the time, Zoom link, calendar invite, etc. And then the call starts a couple of days after. Sounds pretty familiar, right? It looks pretty much like this. And this is how it's set up with almost every calendar software out there. No matter if it's Calendly, Acuity, Go High Level, OneSub, I don't really care, because all of the default setup are looking like this. So here's the problem with this, because they might forget to add the calendar invite to the calendar when receiving the email or text, right? Maybe they're in the middle of something, they see the email and they're like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna add it later. The email can easily get buried in all of the other spammy newsletters, etc. they have signed up for, right? And even, if they add it to the calendar invite and if the email doesn't get buried, if they book the call for over 2 to 3 days from now, of the day of scheduling, they're much more likely to forget about the event entirely or just get buyer's remorse, right? Because they're not, for every day that goes of them just waiting, the buyer intent just slowly drops. So I guess you can see why having such a sequence in place is pretty crucial for having a healthy sales process. And just to give you some extra urgency to implement one for yourself, here's some hard numbers on how much you're actually missing out on for every call that gets booked in without a pre-call sequence. Because let's say you have a 6K offer closed at 25% and you're booking anywhere like around 40 calls per month. If you had a 70% show up rate, you'd have 28 calls show up, 7 closes, and you'd make 42 grand. Let's say the show up rate is now 80%, same closing rate, then you'd make 48 grand. Let's say 90% actually shows up. You'd then have 36 calls show up, 9 closes, and you'd make 54 grand. So as you can see, there's a huge difference just by having a higher show up rate for the amount of calls you're booking in. So let's talk about how to increase sales show up rate and not just get them to show up, but get them ready to buy. So here's a quick overview of how to fix it and why it is so powerful. Because a pre-sales process is an automated process that sends the people who book in a call with you assets to warm them up for your offer/unique mechanism. And also provides you with the extra layer of vetting to make sure that you don't waste your time and does the selling in your marketing instead of on call. So the only thing you have to do on call is actually see if they're a good fit. And this is hard to believe because, we are all saying this when trying to get people on the calls. Yeah, we're just going to check if you're a good fit, and then you're just like doing everything you can to sell them. But it's actually what's going to happen because, they're going to know everything at the point they jump on a call. And it's literally just, they're going to have some questions. You're going to have some questions to see if they even fit your program. And the way the sequence is set up is that you prime them into the mindset of being on a decision-making call and not some kind of free value call and not some kind of, place where they can come in and window shop and check your process, check your prices, etc. So now instead of, automatic logistics email from Calendly as soon as they book in a call, just giving them, the logistics of the call, whatever, right, information, they'll now also get an intro video, manual reconfirmation, free assets, case studies, reminders, etc. right? So let's say they book in a call on Monday and they schedule in for Friday. Well, now as you can see here, the energy that's going to be sent, back and forth in that time frame of them booking in a call and actually waiting for the call there's much more energy involved than just this one text confirmation. And just to break it down exactly what happens, well, from the moment they book in, they provide you with a reconfirmation of attendance in the first email of motivation, right, where you send them a case study. I will break this down, don't worry. You'll get to explain your offer and deliverables in a video instead of, having to sell yourself every time you jump on a call with someone. It sets expectations and an agenda of the call without you even having to do it on the call, right? The frame is already there. It handles possible objections because of the way you kind of structure your pre-call sequence. It builds trust because you're providing them with testimonials, case studies, etc. But also, and I highly recommend you actually going through with this, is provide some serious value upfront. So I always share some kind of YouTube videos, whatever really, their bottleneck is, I always share them some assets. I have some free courses laying around. I have a lot of these Google documents here, plug and play sequences, everything, right? Just making sure that they're actually getting value just for showing up, right? Now, let's break down the pre-call sequence itself and kind of how it looks like. All right, so this is the exact sequence we implemented for her to help her decrease her no-shows and also to increase the buyer intent. So I won't really break down the mechanics of how to actually go ahead and implement this in your calendar software. But if you're using Calendly, you can literally just go into your workflow section and there will be easy options to add in steps with reminders, right? And you can literally try to copy this workflow right here. So you want to have instantly an email and a text going out, just sending them a little bit, about the logistics of the meeting. But also you want to have them receive your pre-call video, and I highly recommend you creating one. I will, at the end of this video, include a plug and play for a pre-call video script, which you can go ahead and use. But it basically introduces them to you. You offer a little bit of who you've been helping so far, maybe a little bit about your community, your course, or something like that. Then 24 hours before the call, you want to send them over an email case study just to show them a little bit of social proof, and also give them a task of replying to the email and reconfirmation, giving you a reconfirmation that they will actually show up. And that is something like, we have a lot of bookings, due to limited spots, etc. Just make sure that we hold your spot, just reply with "I'll be there," something like that, right? I'm just riffing, but you kind of get the idea of how to set up these emails. Then to the crucial part is these two messages right here. 12 hours before the call start, you want to send them over a testimonial email, just again to show them social proof, this time not as a case study, but more as a testimonial walkthrough. So for example, this is Carol, this is how we helped him lose 10 pounds of muscle in 90 days. And here's what he had to say about the process, and something like that, right? So first of all, it is to low-key remind them of, what is going to happen in the next 12 hours, that, we have a call in a minute, in a half a day. But also to give them some motivation that, they actually took a good choice by, booking a call with you. Then 4 hours before the call, we want to send them over your first reminder. So it's just, a quick reminder of, again, with the calendar invite and stuff like that, just to give them some kind of logistics. And then we have 3 reminders more right here. And these 2 last one are actually just texts. Just gonna make sure. And this is how it looks, okay? So 2 hours before the call, you want to send them an email reminder plus a text. Basically just to push up, the previous emails on top of the emails, in top of their inbox, if they're, signed up to a ton of newsletters or stuff like that. Just want to have the email to be on top of their inbox before the call. And then we'll also send them a text reminder to check their inbox. So when they check their inbox, the email will automatically be on top, which is super optimal. Then minus 15 minutes before the call, we want to send them another reminder, just like, hey, just make sure to be at a quiet place and show up 2 to 3 minutes before the call, just to make sure that everything is in check. And then when the call starts, we also want to help them. We're just saying, hey, I just joined the meeting. Here's the link to join again. Because sometimes, they just need that last push. I've had that millions of times where I have to actually do this manually and text them. So I've just included this in the pre-call sequence now, and it's so much better, right? So if they're, for some reason, I don't know, they can't find the Zoom link, they're having last second doubts, right? This last text will help them, give them some motivation to actually show up. All right, so going back to the training here, I also included the pre-call video plug and play. So if you want this document, right, I don't want to read it out right now. If you want this document with the plug and play, I also have it here, it doesn't really matter. Just let me know on my Instagram down in the description, I'll send it over to you. And also, if you want the exact plug and play workflow for actually what's sent word for word, with the subject lines, when to send it, etc., and also let me know on my Instagram DMs and I'll send that over to you. So that's kind of everything for the training. I hope you found this video helpful. It's not as long as my other training, but this will literally help you so much. And yeah, if it did, please let me know in the comments. And I'll help you guys with more assets just like these. Thank you so much for your time and have a beautiful day.